Okay, so before we dive into the Bant deck, we have the March state of the game here, which is talking about the Historic Anthology 2 that we talked about a little bit. So we knew about the cards that were coming in this. There's actually 25 cards in this anthology, which is great. Excited to see more and more of those. A lot of good additions for a variety of different things. Looking forward to seeing Historic grow and expand more. One of the important things to remember, is there pictures of all these cards in here somewhere? There's not. One of the important things to remember is that if you think about non-rotating formats like Pioneer, Modern, etc., while 25 cards doesn't seem like a lot compared to a full set, if you take them in the context that almost all of these 25 cards are likely to have some sort of impact on the format, this is almost like, it isn't even almost, it is like a full set, basically. If you look at the average number of cards from a new set that impact bigger formats, this number of cards is honestly probably above the number of playable cards we tend to get in a single set. Their goal with number 1 was to open up options for Historic decks to start. They also added cards like Treasure Hunt and Soul Warden. For Anthology 2, we're looking to do some expanding in the possibility space, but we also know a lot of the environment these cards are looking to go into. We worked with R&D to understand where we could add new cards to help counter cards that were suspended. Oh, tell me, okay, now I gotta control F for Field of the Dead. And there's no mention of Field of the Dead. To counter cards that were suspended, which we could work well to help build the format with remastered versions of Amonkhet, as well as Pioneer Masters, which will release later this year. Pioneer Masters is coming later this year. Amonkhet and Pioneer Masters, which we will come later this year. That's exciting. This is also good in general. Like, the fact that it says that they're working here with R&D is a big deal. Like, Historic is going to have a huge influx of cards this year, chat. In addition to these anthologies, we're getting Jumpstart this summer, and Pioneer Masters, I assume, will release into Historic as well. So by the time rotation happens in the fall, not only will this format have a really unique experience from Standard once rotation happens, but it's just going to have a really big, interesting card pool in general with Jumpstart and Pioneer Masters being added to it. Historic event schedule. So Historic Ranked is returning as expected March 12th. Historic Traditional Ranked from 12th to the 16th, so a little over a month. They'll have a heirloom, some specialty events here. They're going to have a Historic Brawl event over what I assume is a weekend, March 21 to 23. Yeah, 21 to 23 is Saturday to Monday. Workshops are pre-constructed decks, okay? Historic Pauper and a Historic Challenge. To celebrate, we're going beyond to give you the Secret Layer drop featuring Thalia. Sure. Direct messaging is coming to chat, so this will be good because what this does is, you can't add people after you play them though, right? I was gonna make a joke and say direct messaging is good because you can add a person after you play them and then yell at them in direct message, but I don't think you have the ability to add people from a match, which is probably a good thing overall. For my brief experience playing Hearthstone, people sending you friend requests after a game was usually not to be pleasant. New players introducing color challenges. We're going back to the drawing board for a new player experience. Account mastery has been removed. New players now earn additional decks by completing color challenges. There are 5 color challenges. Existing players can access the color challenges through the Learn More pages. You need the code portion of their name. That's good. Sleeve up. We're updating the card sleeve UX in this update. Vertical roll scrolling. You'll also be able to select a default card sleeve. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Look at quality of life features in my Magic Arena. We're adding the additional features, 2 new emotes, thanks and sorry. Both options will appear for a few seconds in response to another emote. For example, if your opponent says nice in response, you'll have the option to say thanks. Wait, they say favorite lands? And before you ask, favoriting lands is also on our to-do list. It's not part of this update. Sure. Yeah, God bless. Cube sealed. We told you this was going to happen this year. Yes, we know a lot of you wanted Cube Draft, and yes, we wanted to, given our intended goals of Cube Draft with cards, the pack collation we intend to use, we don't believe it would be in fun environment drafting with bots. In the meantime, Cube sealed. Sure, this is a great middle ground. So Cube, for people not familiar, Cube, generally you draft. It's a limited format where there's one of each card, but the cards cross between sets here. So even here in this picture, you can see they've got Theros cards, they've got Guilds cards, just cards from lots of different sets here. Oh, it's a Phantom event as well. Okay, so this is something they do with Cube on Magic Online, so it's worth noting that your entry fee for this event does not give you cards. You just are paying to play. So you will not, the cards you get here will not be added to your collections. Sure, sounds great. I was hoping for information on what they plan to do with suspended cards. They mentioned this here. So I think this here gives me hope because it's something I've talked about on stream before. In my opinion, if they ban every suspended card on March 12th, as opposed to unsuspending some of them, then the current use of the suspended list is a failure and a borderline scam, if not an outright scam. If they just ban everything, it just means it was an excuse to tie up people's wild cards in the meantime. Whereas if they're actually unsuspending cards, that would be a good use of that. It would indicate that everything that gets suspended is not being permanently removed, and they're going to readjust via anthologies and Jumpstart and these other things, and it means that they're actually interested in curating the format. People who have heard me talk about Pioneer and Modern, you know that one of my biggest complaints about those formats isn't even just that they don't ban enough, in my opinion, but it's also that they don't unban enough. There's lots of cards on the Modern ban list and Pioneers getting to this point as well, where if they're not banning things, they need to be unbanning things. They need to be taking things off of that list and giving us back to it to play. I don't think that's too harsh at all, Lieutenant Bird. If their intention wasn't to give them back, they should have just banned them from the start. But, like they said, they worked with the suspended cards. Again, Virulent Plague and Ghost Squirter specifically, in my mind, point to the fact that they are at least looking to unsuspend Field of the Dead, which would be great. We actually had a very optimistic sub add Yarok Field back into the deck queue. So if they do unsuspend Field of the Dead, that's going to be the first historic deck we play after that happens. And if you missed any of us going through the state of the beta, here's the state of the game, sorry. Here's the link in chat. I will post my reaction video up on my YouTube channel with everything else as always. Yeah, Maelstrom Pulse in a way is a card that also attacks Field of the Dead.